Hello, my name is Heath Gross. Welcome to the Growth Hacker series. I've spent the last 20 years helping companies identify opportunities for innovation, build differentiation, launch products, and defend market share. Through my competitive strategy consulting firm, Sedulo Group, I've helped clients generate over $5 billion in innovation-driven revenue. Along the way, I also launched over a dozen companies of my own, generating over $100 million. Today, I'm going to share with you what for me has been the single most effective tool when it comes to building strategies. But before I tell you what the tool is, I first want to tell you what the tool enables you to do that is so important. When it comes to building an effective strategy, whether that is to solve a problem or achieve a goal, I've discovered that there are 4 key elements that when utilized together will guarantee your strategy's success. First, it all starts with mindset. Now, I know that may not be what they teach you in business school, but I can tell you from experience, working with small startups of some of the largest, most influential companies in the world, if you don't have the right mindset when building your strategy, the chances of success drop off exponentially. So what do I mean by mindset? I'm specifically referring to open-mindedness, a lack of bias, a willingness to consider what has not been considered before, the conviction to look at a stated problem as a blank canvas. This is not always easy to do. We all come to the table with our own preconceived ideas. Within your team, there may be competing interests or opinions based on prior experiences. Open-mindedness requires you to start from ground zero. What is the problem you're trying to address? What is the goal you are trying to achieve? No preconceived boundaries or limitations, no strings, no ifs, thens, or buts. Anything less, and you are already shutting down options before you even start, thereby stunting the creative process. Next is creativity. To build the best strategy, you first have to consider all your options. I have been in way too many client strategy meetings where the group is essentially presented a scenario and then spoon-fed strategies on how to handle the situation. It's more of a multiple choice than an opportunity to brainstorm. There must be room for creativity and a process that encourages it. Andy Warhol, one of the most creative minds of our generation, the father of pop art, once said, "Being good in business is the most fascinating kind of art. Making money is art, and working is art, and good business is the best art." Creativity is art. It is a must when it comes to strategy. The willingness to explore the unexplored, to test the untested, to push the limits and question the status quo, that kind of creativity is where true innovation is born and game-changing strategies come from. The third element is brainstorming. Brainstorming is one of the most basic forms of creative expression and one of the most powerful tools to support ideation. The process of throwing out ideas as fast as they come to you, fighting that impulse to first test each one against some unspoken logic hurdles. Effective brainstorming absolutely requires the first 2 steps I already discussed, open-mindedness and creativity. Effective brainstorming can take practice, especially if you're not used to that sort of exercise. It also requires a safe space. If you are brainstorming as a team, then it requires trust. Trust that you can throw out a crazy idea, an off-the-wall plan, or a totally bonkers concept, and you won't be judged for it. Brainstorming is not about getting it right. It is about capturing all the possibilities, all the options. The filtering and application of reasoning and logic will come later. The goal is to harness that open-mindedness and creativity and point it like a laser at a problem statement, and then capture whatever comes flowing out. While individual brainstorming can be effective, there is no match for collaboration. When you brainstorm alone, it is easy to go down a rabbit hole or get stuck in a mental rut or fixate on a particular idea. But when you brainstorm as a group, it creates this frenetic energy where ideas are bouncing around the room, triggering ideas in other people who take your idea down a new and different road than you had even considered. The effective collaborative brainstorming is not multiplicative, it is exponential. And collaboration isn't just beneficial to brainstorming. It can improve every phase of the strategy development process, including the 4th and final element, the review, revision, and curation cycle. In this stage, each idea and concept, no matter how off the wall, is carefully considered. During this review phase, filters are applied to determine the probability and impact of the strategy. This can be done either formally or informally. For Cedillo's clients, we use a probability and impact matrix, where we plot potential strategies on a 4-quadrant matrix based on the probability of being able to execute the strategy based on time, cost, and other internal and external factors, and the impact that strategy would likely have on achieving the goal. The result is a matrix that buckets the strategies based on their likelihood of success and the impact they would have. Once the review phase is complete, you move to the revision phase. Here, the goal is to make changes to the strategy concepts in an effort to increase the probability of execution and the impact it might have. It's important to maintain that same level of open-mindedness and creativity you had during the brainstorming phase. Locking onto a few ideas can create tunnel vision, causing you to potentially miss out on what could be a great strategy with just a few minor tweaks or adaptations. The third stage of the cycle is curation. In this stage, we begin to whittle down the ideas. Now, I use the term whittle very intentionally here. If you've ever watched anyone whittle, you've probably noticed that it's all about these small, delicate, deliberate cuts. A whittler uses a knife with a fine blade, not a machete or a chainsaw. The idea is to trim away ideas that even after revision still fall into the category of highly improbable or very low impact. Keep in mind, this is a cycle, so there is no need to get to just one potential strategy right away. Once you remove the ideas with the least potential of success and the least impact, you start the cycle over again by reviewing whatever remains. During the review process, it is helpful to consider a few questions. Are there certain strategies that address a particular aspect of the problem better than others? Will your problem statement require more than one strategy? How many strategies might you employ? Could 2 or more strategies be combined to improve the probability of success or the impact? Are there other factors or filters that need to be applied? The answer to these questions will support the continued revision of the remaining ideas and may be necessary to fully address the problem or to achieve the stated goal. After further revision, it is once again time to curate, to further whittle down your options. The cycle is continued until you have narrowed down your list to a set of strategies that, when combined, offer the highest chance of succeeding and the greatest impact on the problem you're trying to solve for or the goal you're trying to achieve. So, there you have it, the 4 foundational elements to building an effective strategy. Now, about that tool. Over the years, I have tried just about every tool imaginable to support the process I just shared with you. I have built complex spreadsheets, pretty PowerPoints, sprawling mind maps, extensive Word documents. I have tried various online SaaS tools and workbooks that promise to guide you through the strategy process. I have tried them all, and none of them, no matter how expensive or how complex, was as effective as the tool I'm about to share with you. But before I do, a word of disclosure. I do not receive any kickbacks, spiffs, points, referrals, or any other form of monetization for promoting this tool. So you can trust that in sharing this with you, I have nothing personally to gain other than the good karma of knowing that I helped you build the best possible strategy. So here it is, the most powerful tool for building an effective strategy that money can buy. The whiteboard. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. You can hang them on your wall or mount them on an easel or roll them around your office on wheels. You can even use special paint to cover your walls, floors, and ceilings if you want to. There is no software to download, no code to capture, no electricity needed. And while they are oh so simple, it is that simplicity that makes them great. The power of people in front of a whiteboard is one of the most underestimated assets a business can leverage. The power of open-mindedness, the power of creativity, the power of ideation and brainstorming, the power of collaboration, the power of review, revision, and curation. All right here in this simple tool. So the next time you need to develop that game-changing strategy, don't open your laptop. Instead, sit down in front of a whiteboard and open your mind to the possibilities. Until next time.